Now I want to talk about one other little thing because this is really common and it causes people problems. In the feed screw on most of the feed screw type saws, this is true on Phantom, this is true on HP. If this bushing here for the gear is on the front on HPs and on the back it's in Phantom. But if this bushing gets worn where you can grab the shaft and it goes up and down or side to side, this is directly a problem. Now that bushing's cheap, just a few bucks. But on the other side of the wall here are the gears. Now, if you see what happens here, now I haven't tightened these up, but if you see what happens here, if this shaft moves up and down, these teeth are small. And if it moves up and down very much, then it changes the way the teeth engage. So if your bushing gets worn and it starts dropping down, now all of a sudden your teeth are down here engaging instead of up here. That means this worm and this gear are going to get worn out much faster. Now the other thing is, people pack grease in this, and grease is horrible for it because the grease will get kind of pushed out of the way or get dried out a little bit, and then you don't get lubrication. So we recommend running the housing with the ultra black. Glue it, it won't leak. Then put 80 weight gear oil, like the gearbox oil, 80, 90 weight. And then when you come in and adjust this, and we have a video on exactly how to adjust this, both up and down here and front to back, then you won't have problems. The gears will last a long time. But you have to keep an eye, because let me talk about the second thing, which is when people run their saws and they get really dirty and they don't keep their blade sharp and there's a lot of blade pressure. It's pushing on this shaft because this shaft is pushing against the feed dogs, running the feed dogs forward. So this shaft is pushing back really hard. And basically that flange on this bushing right here, look down in here at the bushing, that flange starts getting thinner and thinner and thinner. Now what happens when that flange gets thinner is it's translating, come over and look on the other side, the gear, as that flange is getting thinner, this gear is moving out. Oh. So if that flange gone, then your gear's engaged like this. So if you look at that stuff and you pay attention to this one bushing right here, same bushing, but on the back of the Phantom, that one bushing there, you can save yourself a lot of trouble just by replacing that periodically. And you can replace it without tearing everything out of the saw. You take the gearbox off, pull the gear out, take this collar out, take the feed screw out, and then you can take a socket and tap the bushing out, and then I just put a bolt in there and draw that bushing in with a bolt, so I don't even have to take the bracket or anything out. I can just replace it on the fly. So that I wanted to cover that because that is a really common thing I see. And sure, I could sell a lot more gears, but I'd rather you guys spend your money on rock and stuff that is going to be good for you rather than, oh, you didn't replace your one bushing and now you have to buy a set of gears.